while I look like death warmed over.
So yeah, like we were talking about how to track test cases, right? Like how to
Mhm.
track test results per se. We do not have a test case management system yet, but with the effort to dog food everything in GitLab, we have. Let me just pull up a project. So we're just going to reuse what we have and iterate on it, adding new features to it. Quality engineering department has a project with a list of issues, and let me pull that up right now. And also share my screen. Can you see my screen set?
Yep.
Awesome. So we have a prototype, a working prototype where we create issues, which are essentially test cases. And what we want to see in the end is essentially these are the list of tests and a pass fail flag per se. So the idea here is that we're just going to use issues and labels like this is the passing and staging or passing in master. And I think that we have some of these represented on the board. Let me see. Test results. And so essentially we wanted to see like what are the red and green status on these tests. Mm-hmm. And an iteration to move to this is have a CI job that posts results to this. We already have the building blocks. We have APIs to update issues. We have APIs to add comments or add labels or whatnot. In the CI pipeline, we could output an artifact, a list of test cases, what was run, right, and what issue number it maps to in this project, in the test case project. And towards the end of the pipeline, there's a specific CI job that reports the list of results. So test case mapped to which issue number, and then it will make an API call to update either pass or fail status in this project. And as things run, the issue board is essentially your test results. So what is failing, what is passing. And that's one way to track test results and have an audit trail of what's being run. So in the end, like for example, like create a merge request test case. If you look at the comments section, right, it'll just be an API call from that reporter runner job. It says, hey, create a new merge request passing on staging, ran today. Tomorrow, create a new merge request, pass on staging, and etc. And we can even track multi-dimensional test results, meaning it could be passing in master but failing on staging, but then the result is tracked in one single place, and there's an audit trail and audit log, and this reuses GitLab project issues, CI runner, and also our API to update status. And that's the general idea that Seth and I have been discussing about. So what do you think, Seth?
Yeah, I think this is a great project for dogfooding. The only weakness at the moment I see is just digging out the historical information because it's going to be buried within the comments themselves. But this is always going to give us what our latest results are for sure. So I think we'll have to iterate on that a little bit to make it even more useful. But to have a visual like this with what we already have built, I think is a great first step.
Yep. If we're worried about clearing history, right, or making things clean, or like have it snap to grid per se, for lack of a better term, we could even have the runner create an issue for you if it doesn't exist. So it's not a manual thing, right? As long as we know that there's a test case, whatever integration or end to end, and if it's not there in the project, if that number is not there, or if the name of the test isn't there, I would assume we need to enforce some kind of uniqueness in the test case name, which I think it's kind of a given, right, in other test case management systems like TestRail or Quality Center or whatever. Let me stop sharing my screen so we can see each other better. So yeah, like let's just have the runner, sorry, the reporter, not runner, the reporter CI job have an option to, if tests not found, create a new one. And that's like ensuring that it's always the latest and the source of truth in the test results.
Yeah, and if we've added a new test and don't have an issue, yeah, I'm thinking too, when we're going to have we already have the JUnit files that we could use to actually read a lot of this information.
Exactly. Extend from that, right? Sure, let's just, the artifact could be from the JUnit report. Like the list of tests in the JUnit report powers this additional step to like update the project and testing this. So like using the GitLab building blocks per se, let's just make it suit our needs with what we have. And next step is iterate, like get all our stakeholders, product managers and designers to, hey, how can we turn this into the next generation thing? If you have looked at our history, issues and merge requests are very similar. They share very similar things, right? Test cases could also be an extension of issues. Right? It's the same building blocks, inheriting from the same, for lack of a better term, base class per se. And that's how we've been building things. I think it aligns with the same pattern that we have of iteration.
Yeah, I would agree. And with our framework right now too, we could actually we could tag each individual test with its issue or epic number itself, and use that in the JUnit files to just automatically find what we're looking for. And we maybe could even figure out some other automation, because if we have a tag, then we can target those tests within our runs.
Right. And we can even have stage and group labels on who owns these tests. So if it fails, it notifies that team in the issue. And then like the audit trail is there, right? Like you can even go back and count, hey, I mean, it's comments, but hey, iteration is better than having nothing. Like you look through the comments, oh, like during this week, this test failed 5 times. Why? And we have a trail of that. I would say the emphasis should be not epics, so let me be clear, projects and issues. So the artifact that feeds to the API that calls to the reporting mechanism is, what is the URL path to that project and the issue number? And this is like test Rails test case ID, exactly the same thing. Like when they have a Jenkins reporter reporting to test rail, what we need is a test session ID. We're using this as like an all-in-one test session and test case, but in the dimension of issue comments per se. I think it serves the same purpose and gets the job done.
Yeah, and if these become their own artifact that's based on the issue base class, then we can eventually build out some additional UI functionality for it, I think.
Yeah, the boards is now the UI reporting functionality, which is why I shown the board earlier. Let me show it again for folks that are interested on the call. Again, very, very crude, but so like I want to know what's passing in master, right? What's passing in staging, and these two can reside together. Like you see this one, this test is passing in staging, and also this test is also passing in master. I love our issue boards with the new like side collapsing and things. It's very cool. And let's just reuse this.
Yeah, nice. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. Anything else, Seth? You wanna add to this? We should probably do some pre-planning. I think it's something that, as a quality engineering department, we have to provide to our stakeholders and make it highly visible that, hey, these are the tests that are running, and it has an audit trail. But any thoughts?
My thought is, let's just focus on MVP. Let's start here.
Yep, agreed. Cool. I'll loop in the rest of the department on the discussion, and we'll upload this to the YouTube Unfiltered channel.
Very nice.
Thank you, Seth.
Oh, thank you.